going from speed picking like this to this in 6 weeks is possible, and I'm going to show you how in today's video. Hey Guitar Champion, what is going on? I'm Justin Hombach back from my practice cave and welcome to today's video. 6 weeks ago I was again angry about my playing. Like a little child I was sitting here and I was thinking, god damn it, these picking lines and these picking licks just don't work how I want them to be. So I've started a completely new practice routine which spans over 6 weeks but only cost me like 10 to 15 minutes per day. I've gained again a lot of awareness, a lot of consciousness about what's happening in my right hand, and this definitely brought my picking playing to the next level. In the end, it was not perfect. No. There are still a lot of things to work on, a lot of things to do, but it helped me a lot to gain much more awareness about what's going on in my right hand, and definitely helped to bring my picking playing, my precision and my speed to the next level. And it is super easy, super simple, and every one of us can do it. You just simply grab your guitar, in the best case it's an Ibanez, and start practicing your goddamn right hand for the next fucking 6 weeks. That's it, you don't have to do more. So much for today's video. Cheers, see you soon, bye. Okay, no. Of course, there's a little bit more to it, a little bit more. It's not so easy. So now let's take a deep look on what I've done in the last 6 weeks. The first thing that I and you have to know before we're starting with this is to find out what kind of level we are actually on our picking. Knowledge is power, wisdom is key, and the more we know about our right hand, our flaws, our habits, the things that we can play and the things that we cannot play, the more we know, the better. And to put this knowledge into categories, I've designed for the Zen of Speed Picking the speed scale. First, you might ask, what is the Zen of Speed Picking? It is my online masterclass about speed picking, where I've put all my knowledge from the last 15 years about speed picking, all my experience, all my flaws, and all the things that I've learned to become the speed picker that I am today into one big educational masterclass with more than 50 exercises, daily practice routines, etudes, workouts, and everything else. You will get one of the best speed picking online courses out there. So now about the speed scale. I took several licks from the Zen of Speed Picking and put them into different levels. They are the licks for level 1, like this one here. Licks for level 2, like this. Level 3. And then final licks like this one here for level 4. But I not only divided these licks into 4 different levels, I also can create a speed scale, which determines on what kind of overall level and status you are depending on these licks. And when it comes to the speed scale, I rather think in notes per second instead of BPMs, because thinking in notes per second is independent from the subdivision that you are playing. The easiest way to transfer it is into 60 note triplets. For example, 60 note triplets on 130 BPM is 30 notes per second. 60 notes on 195 BPM, for example, are also 30 notes per minute. Now in the speed scale I also have 4 different levels: beginner, intermediate, pro and master. Beginner is when you can play a certain lick from 0 to 6 notes per second. Intermediate is 7 to 9 notes per second. Pro 10 to 13 notes per second. And masters everything over 14 notes per second. This scale you can now put on every lick that you're playing, just to find out, okay, which kind of level on the speed scale am I with the certain lick that I'm currently practicing. There are licks that I can play easily on the master level, like this one here with 17 notes per second. And there are licks that I only can play on an intermediate level, or maybe a pro level, or even a beginner level. So this is one really easy and cool way for me personally to find out which kind of level I am in a certain lick or in a certain situation. Now the next thing that we have to know is, do we actually know how to pick correctly? Do we know how we are holding the pick or how we should hold the pick? Do we know how the muscle works here in the arm and how a certain tension situation works and everything else? And therefore I highly recommend to check out two big videos. They are really long. One is over 1 hour long, the other one is over 2 hours long, but I highly recommend to watch both of them because they are mind-blowing. First one is the big picking video from Anton Oparim, and the second one is my ultimate guide for speed picking. When you have watched these two videos, you will definitely have new knowledge about picking that you can reflect on yourself to see, okay, do I even know what I'm doing here in my right hand? Okay, now after we've done this, now actually really comes the easy part. Because what I said at the beginning is actually a little bit true. The following exercise is only based on practicing a right hand. So this is no lick, no etude, no workout, no whatsoever. We're now getting really deep into only our right hand. This means this hand is doing absolutely nothing. This hand is only here to mute the strings. We are just focusing on the right hand. The only thing that we are going to do is this. For 10 minutes every day. Now, but there's of course a system behind this. For example, I had certain licks, a certain situation where I was able to play it in the pro kind of area, but I was not really happy with my outcome. I tried, for example, to play this lick here on 160 ppm. And it did not work. It sounded like this. So I got the motivation to work on it. And then I subtract 60 BPM or 6 notes per second. And I start in week 1 with 100 notes per second. And what I'm doing here is that I take my guitar, I set my metronome to 100 BPM, and I play 60 note triplets for the next 10 minutes in all kind of variation. Running up and down the strings, string skipping, the Paul Gilbert lick, playing 3 notes per string, playing 6 notes per string, trying to go through all the different scenarios that I need to be able to play the final lick on 160 BPM. And after this, in the next week, I increased it to 10 BPM. So 1 week on 100 BPM, 1 week on 110 BPM, 1 week on 120, 130, 140, 150, until we have reached our target tempo, the 160 BPM. Now, this may sound boring, because the only thing that we're going to hear in the next couple of weeks for 10 minutes every day is this. But I tell you, this is extremely effective, because with a short amount of time of 10 to 15, maybe as a max 20 minutes, we are able to put a lot of focus in our movement and to really see, is everything working in the right hand? Is there any movement that I should repeat a little bit more often? What kind of movements work? What kind of movements don't work? We gain knowledge. And as I've said in the beginning, knowledge is power, wisdom is the key. By not jumping around with the tempo from day to day, like for example starting on a certain BPM and then going 10 BPM higher after 5 minutes and again 10 BPM higher after 5 minutes. Here I take my time in that certain tempo. I'm patient with my playing. Patience is so important to get better at your instrument. And now it is okay on 160 BPM. It works, let's say 2 out of 5 times or something like that. But I'm so much better in playing it at 140 BPM, 130 BPM, 150 BPM even, because I took my time with that. So again, for you, a few things to do that you have to do by yourself. Because even though certain YouTubers are promising it, the solution to a lot of problems is in your practice routine and not necessarily in a certain lick that you have to practice. I talked about that in my video, The Biggest Lie in Guitar Education. So again now, for you, find out which kind of picking scenario, picking situation you want to improve. And up next, is it 3 note per string? Is it 6 note per string? Is it a string skipping lick? Find out where you have your struggles and where you want to become better after 6 weeks. And then next is find your target goal. Find the goal where you want to be able to play this lick. Feel free to shoot for the stars, because even when you don't reach the stars, you will still land on the moon. and then subtract from that 60 ppm or 6 notes per second, again depending if you are playing 16 or 16 note triplets. There you have to do a little bit of calculation, but when I can do it, and I am really terrible in math to be honest, you can do it too. And then it's easy, start practicing, start developing, start progressing. Our journey is to become better, not to be the best, because improvement over perfection. And yes, I know, not everything will be solved with this, because as I've said, it's not black or white guitar playing. There's hand synchronization problems that probably roots in your left hand. There are picking precision kind of things. It's all this kind of stuff. If you want to have a more diverse practice routine and practice plan and challenges, then I highly recommend to check out my Patreon. There I share with you certain exercises, certain information, certain interesting licks and ideas on a weekly basis. And with only €5 you can be part of this Patreon and support me as well. Alright, and so much for today's video. I hope you liked this little video. I can wait to see your progress in the future. Feel free to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. I'm going to see you in my next video. Cheers and power your progress. Bye.